Welcome. I'm Bob. I'm here at Total Toy Recon, and I wanted to welcome you to our review of the Lord of the Rings Deluxe action figure Gimli. So, as you can see, we already have a Nazgul. It is reviewed here on our page, and I will link his review under Gimli's as we move on here. But this is the Gimli figure. Now, this is part of the Build-A-Figure Sauron. So we already have his waist. His ball joint right there. This came with the Nazgul. So if you're going to build an army of Nazgul, well, an army, you're going to build the 9, you're going to get a lot of these pieces. And I would doubt these pieces are probably very easy to find on the interweb. But the Nazgul was awesome. Really, really good. And a giant step up from the Toy Biz one. I really like the articulation. I like how it worked. But we're talking about Gimli today. So I never had the Gimli figure in the old Toy Biz line. Gimli and Legolas, they were kind of like a two-pack that, not really a two-pack, but they were released at the same time. As you can see, we have up here at the top, Series 1. I think they've moved on at this point. I'd have to double-check just to be sure, but we're going to open everybody and go through this monster list and build the Nazgul when we're at the end. Now, I will group all the videos together on YouTube, on Instagram. You're going to have to scroll through our media feed or through the videos to find them. Shouldn't be too hard. So let's open up Gimli. So let's do this today. So I'm slowly becoming a non-in-the-box collector. Look at that. I just ripped it. Ah! Look at that. Oh, that made some people very, very painful. I was going to cut the tape off, but since I'm pretty much going to throw this out anyway, the package, we might as well just open them up. Now, the one thing I did comment when we opened the Nazgul was this backdrop. Fantastic. Look at this. Really, really nice. We've got Middle-earth here. I always wondered what was over here. I'm sure if I read some of the other books, you'd find out. But very cool, the map. It'd be neat if they actually moved it to where the character was from. But, hey, I'm nitpicking, and, you know, those little items they're costly. You think those extra details wouldn't be, but they are. So, pop them out here. And really, these are tape. Sometimes there's a bubble. Sometimes there's tape. We got a little tape down here. This is kind of the boring part. But it's also interesting to see how NECA packages these. I mean, we've done... No, NECA, I'm very sorry. I meant Diamond Select. How Diamond Select packages these because they're starting to do these new, like, window boxes now instead of the blister packs, which they've done in the past with a lot of their Marvel Select figures. And I think they're cool and all, but they also don't endure long-term storage. So if you're an out-of-box collector, you're never really worried about that. If you're an in-the-box collector, you know the Diamond Select blister packs, they get kind of beat up. I do have a Iron Giant to review as well, and that, you know, that packaging obviously gonna get opened. So let's do an instant post here. We've got Gimli, or as I like to call him, John Rhys Davies. Nice detail, nice articulation. I really like to look at the hands. That's really cool. And he does come with extra hands. So since we're there on the hand, let's pull this out. That came out pretty easy. And we've got a nice fist. You know, I think... Now, I know I literally just opened him. I think he should have come with a mug of beer. Like, that just seems like a little extra detail, especially for the drinking. So we have I love the little sleeping sack here. We'd always see them when he's running. Again, there's no instructions. So, like, which axe is supposed to go in which spot. Now, just solely based on the movie. Love the ponytail, by the way. It does help move his head a little bit. Nice head joint there. So I guess we could just... Ooh, maybe not. So I thought this would go in here. This is more for show. These aren't moving. So there's a first criticism. I would have made that these could have just slid up so I could stick this one in here like that, like it was in the film, and then put the other one down here. But they are not. So obviously, as cool as the fists are, we're going to pull them out here and get the hands in so that we can do some double axing. And so I'm guessing that the big boy would probably go in his right hand, assuming he was right-handed. I have to look at the movie again. It's been a while. It's always worth the Lord of the Rings revisit. I do it about once a year if I can. I usually get bogged down in the second one. Not that I don't dislike the second one, but you know, you've spent a lot of time in Middle Earth already by the time you're at the second one. So we do have that, and we do have 2 axes. So now, as I made that criticism, he's a little tough to... trying to bend the knee joint here. There we go. And the front, this foot here isn't really... There we go. So, a little bit of a twist. As you can see, he is a tad shorter than the Nazgul. And he would be, because he's a dwarf. There we go. Ooh. All right, didn't break it, so that's good. But I'm trying to get him a good pose. I do like my poses. So here we have the... I mean, these boots... I don't know how John Rhys Davies walked around in those boots, to tell you the truth. There probably were sneakers underneath. So, he does have pegs on his feet, and there is one more big axe. So this would be the axe that would go in the back. But being that this does not move, I can't really stick it there. I mean, I could kind of hide it like that under his ponytail. But that's not how it should be. Now, I do have a kind of a curved table here. So, I'm not really getting a good... I had to go back further. There we go. I mean, that's flatter back here. This kind of curves. But what I did notice is when I was kind of complaining was we do have a bit of a loop right here. See it? If you can see it. This right here. There's a loop here that you could stick the axe in. I hope. See? That's cool. All right. See, I like that kind of element to it. But you want to do it here, too, and you want to do it in the back. You don't want to cheat with the ponytail. That's very, you know, like old school G.I. Joe kind of style. I just don't understand why these don't enable me to put that back there. Because you want him to be able, let's see if we can do both hands on the axe. Sometimes figures can do this, sometimes they cannot. You really want them to be able to because that's how they would do it in real life. Not too much of a grind. I'm actually hitting the fingers in a wrong spot here. So, all right. That was the one I should have started with. And, okay. Yeah, it's always neat to see how, like, what bits and pieces of plastic. See, now that's awesome. All right, so, except this, again, I'm cheating by using the ponytail to hold the axe. So let's just assume he threw that into some troll's head. But really, really cool pose with the double axe. And it's kind of, we'll move him back here. Kind of gives you, he's not too short, but he's not too small. He's a nice size. Obviously, we will compare him to Frodo. When we review the Frodo, kind of give you the height and scale of the humans, the elves. We can do them all once we get to those points. But let's talk about... So Gimli comes with Sauron's head. So these are nice. They're not too sharp, but they have great detail. The eyes are very sullen, no color in there. I never had the big Sauron figure from the Toy Biz line. I did have this one, so I was able to make that comparison. I do have a couple of the others, but... Unfortunately, I got rid of them because they did not last. They got posed a lot. They got beat up. I mean, they're over 20 years old. They just had a lot of joints, and I got rid of them all. So, head looks good, though. So, as we put the pieces together here, we do have Sauron's waist, we have his head, and then, of course, we have the big sword. So, we'll be able to do that. So, all in all, I think Gimli looks really, really good. But much like... my Nazgul review, there's just no place, these little loops here to put the weapons in. This one's good. This one back here doesn't move. I can't lift it up. I'd have to break it. Ditto on this one here on this side. So I'd really like to do something. You know, something that would enable it. They should. So this is Bob from Total Toy Recon. I do recommend picking up Gimli. Of course, he comes with the head, so it's kind of the finisher to Sauron. You're definitely going to need him. But pose-wise, vicious, really, really cool. The way you can move both his hands. Great articulation here. And the chainmail detail and the brass, all of this. I mean, look at the headpiece, too. We didn't really get into these details. But really nice. Hair's good. We've even got little details here on the buckles. Look at that. More padding there, too. So they really did go all out and really get a lot of the great character details. Right down to his boot. Look at that. So Gimli's actually a lot cooler than I thought he'd be. Actually, I kind of did him first to get him out of the way. And look at that. Even chainmail on the underneath. Really nice. Did him to get him out of the way, and I'm really impressed with him. So, it's Bob from Total Toy Recon. Thanks for tuning in. Look for all the reviews of the first series here on our Instagram, our YouTube, as well as our website. Thank you.